Hey guys, it's Ghostcuber, and today I have my long overdue Q&A video. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this out, but I've been pretty demotivated to make videos lately, but I'm back now. The first question is from Ghostcuber. Who won the giveaway? So this Q&A was also a giveaway. I didn't want to say that because I didn't want people commenting just for the giveaway, but I am going to be giving away a setup Mr. M Pyraminx. And that is going to go to Cubing with Viswath. Ram Thakar asks, in your opinion, rank the top 5 Pyraminxes on the market. Now, these are not going to be in any particular order because I can't really decide which ones I like the best. But my top Pyraminxes are the Mr. M, the Gan, the Bell V2, and the Chi MS. I don't really have a fifth one because I don't think there's another one that is on the same level as the others. Brian Frank asks, do you think Pira is the easiest event to get fast at? I think the easiest is probably Clock, but Pira is definitely up there. Cats and Cubes asks if I have ever seen a cube in public and solved it and been like a superhero. The closest I've gotten is at my orthodontist's office. They have some cubes in the waiting room and I usually solve them, but I have not been to someone's house and solved a cube or anything like that. Here's Ram Thakar again asking, what is your greatest cubing accomplishment? So I would say that's either my NR Pira single or my work with the Mr. M Pyraminx, just because that's had so much influence on the Pyraminx community. Jasper Murray asks, since it's so bad out of the box, what made you realize the Mr. M had amazing potential and was worth spending so much time trying to make it good? So I haven't said this publicly before, but the setup I showed in my video that ended up being really popular is actually one of the first things I tried. So I've spent a lot of time setting them up, but I didn't actually spend a whole lot of time experimenting. When I tried it out of the box, I knew it had issues, but I could tell it had potential because it felt nice, and I just decided to try it out. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce this name, so I'm not going to try, but why did you start cubing? So I started cubing because it was a thing at my school, some people got into it, and I thought it looked fun, so I tried it too. 9Cubed asks, when do you think your next competition will be? I'm hoping this summer, but with everything going on, I really have no idea. Stian, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to mispronounce your last name. Nistad? What's your Pira global? I usually claim between 2.6 and 2.8. I'm typically a bit faster for short sessions, but I just can't focus for long sessions. So for that, probably around 2.8. How can I get motivated to practice Pira? I practiced ages ago and haven't touched it for a while. So I would really suggest just doing some solves. If you enjoy it, keep going. If not, don't. The point of cubing is having fun, and if you're not enjoying practicing, don't force yourself to do it. How did you get your sister to be a cuber? I wouldn't say I got her to be a cuber, but I just showed her some puzzles, and she was interested and decided to learn. How much do you think the Pira world record average can be lowered? I'm really not sure. I think realistically probably 1.4 or 1.5 with what we know right now, possibly 1.3 with the right scramble sets. But if there's a new method or some new techniques, I could see it going as low as 1.2 or 1.3 eventually. Why the name Ghostcuber? So I made my channel shortly after getting a handmade ghost cube, and I thought that was super cool. So I just named my channel after it, and I made several videos about it. Are you ever going to get a world record in Pyraminx or any other event for that matter? Well, in another event, almost definitely not, because I'm nowhere near world class in anything else. For Pira, it's possible but unlikely. I've never really been at the very top level, but I suppose it is possible with the right scramble set and good turning. Was the YouTube grind worth it? I wouldn't really say there was a YouTube grind. I've never really focused on YouTube, but I just kind of post what I do, and it's going pretty well. How old are you, and what are your current mains? I am 19, and I'm not going to go over all of my mains, but I'll do the ones for events I actually practice. So for 2x2 I use the Chi MS. For Pira I go between the Mr. M, Gan, and Bell V2 with a V1 core. For 3x3 I use an RS3M 2020. 4x4 Auto GTS 2M, Megaminx Dian V2M, and Scube I use the Gan. How did it feel when the NAR Pira single and average were done with your setup Mr. M? Honestly, that's a pretty big source of pride for me since I have not use it for anything that impressive. It's really cool to see other people getting good results with my puzzles. I improve quickly with other events, but I'm having a hard time improving Pira. For that, I would really just suggest playing around with it and mostly getting used to the shape. Most puzzles are cubic, so it takes a while to get used to turning something that's not. Are there any events you used to practice and don't like anymore? I briefly got into Megaminx and Feet. I wouldn't say I dislike them now, although I don't really practice. What made you so fast, and what Pira method do you use? Honestly, the only reason I'm decent at Pira is my turning. My solutions are trash, my look ahead is terrible, I have very rarely one look, but I have pretty good turning, which makes me decent, and I use L4E. How is college, and what classes are you taking? College is going pretty well. I'm enjoying it. It's a bit stressful at times, but for the most part it's going well. And I'm studying finance, so I'm just taking introductory business classes right now. Will you ever start your own modding business for other people? I do sell setup Mr. M's, and I could take requests for some other things, but I don't really want to make it a big thing or advertise it a lot or anything like that. Are you method neutral? No, I'm not. I exclusively use L4E. I mean, unless you count occasional LBL solves as method neutral, but I only know keyhole for top first, and I average like 8 with it. I'd like to learn one flip and a couple other methods, but that's not a priority right now. Can you do a mod to the Bell V2's core so it won't strip? I think there's something that people are calling a paper mod. I don't know exactly how it works, but that might help. But most people are just switching it with a Bell V1 core. Will you get that NAR again? I don't really see myself getting another record, but it could happen given the right scramble and if my turning is good. Will you be selling modified GAN Piras like the Mr. M? Probably not. It's much easier to set up, so I don't really think it's necessary. And what's your opinion on Pira hardware? Honestly, I think it's all pretty bad right now. There is no Pyraminx that I would say I'm happy with, and it needs a lot of development still. What do you average on 3x3 and how tall are you? I average around 12 to 13 seconds, and I'm 5'11 or 6 foot, somewhere around there. What is your Ghostcuber PB? I haven't done a timed solve for a long time, but I think it's in the low 3-minute range. What's your main 3x3 and PB? I've already talked about my main, but my PB single is 769 and my average of 5 is 1064. What is your favorite food? I would say probably burgers or pizza, one of the two. Why Pira? Pira was just the first event I really got into, and I stuck with it. And finally, Pyracuber. Is L5E a viable method for Pyraminx? I really don't know. I don't know enough about it to give a good opinion, but I don't believe anyone is actively pursuing it right now. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!